Welcome to the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast with intuitive lightworker, national speaker, metaphysical teacher, and best-selling author Lisa Kessler. What is it you want to manifest? Are you looking to increase your income, change careers? Maybe you want to manifest a new home or a new car. Are you ready to bring love into your life? You have come to the right place.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening to the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast. So today, because I'm a writer, many of my clients are also writers, and I have helped creatives manifest more joy in their work, more books, and most recently with Luna, a new income stream as a hybrid author. It's been so exciting watching the book that she wrote with us in the mastermind climb the Amazon charts. But I think the best person to share her manifesting journey is Luna herself.
Hi, Luna. Thank you for chatting with me today about the mastermind.
Hi, happy to be here. I have Tiny Editor. He insisted on coming.
Oh, he's adorable. Well, we want his feedback as well.
He's been to all the meetings.
He has. Yes, he comes to all of our meetings. Well, I wanted to start with, do you want to tell everybody where you were when we started the mastermind? What was going on?
Sure. I was on my 10th traditional publishing release. I'm a writer. I write romance, and it's mainly fantasy romance and paranormal romance. And I actually met Lisa years ago at a conference where she was teaching paranormal romance. And then I had my career, as well as I knew my dad was sick, and I was looking for some way to take the joy back in my writing.
Yes, and you wanted to go a different direction, right? Because you had a publisher, you were doing the traditional thing, but when we got together, you were like, I have this idea and I want to do my own thing and put my toe in the water of indie publishing, right?
That was exactly it. I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to try something different that I wasn't sure if readers would connect with. I wanted to be able to have a little more control and be able to decide publisher. I'm the publisher, so I get to pick my editor and my team and my cover artist and dream really big on this, what I thought was a very small goal. Mm-hmm. Because I was nervous because fear.
Right. And when we started the mastermind, I don't think that you had even started that indie book yet, but how fast did you write it?
So I wrote monster romance, which is just a passion of mine because it is so far out there and you can do whatever you want. I wrote and revised with a full-time job and with worrying over my father, who was then going in and out of ICU for 6 weeks. And it was done.
I know. I'm like, what's happening? That was so amazing. And I felt like you loved it. It was probably your escape from all that stress too.
But it was a different writing experience because you and I have talked about some books come easily. And I know that you channel, and some books come really hard. And I've got some books that have just been they take a toll on you. You have to get really emotionally invested. And to write even 1,000 words, you just think, I can't manage. And I don't want to do this today. And Minotaur, which matched to the Minotaur, was my monster romance. So if I call it that, you know what I'm talking about. It just flowed. And it was happy, and I was giggly, and I'm not a giggly person. And it was fun, and it was light, and I got to bring in favorite things and nerd out, and the universe was happy to celebrate that with me. So I came into Mastermind thinking, okay, I can do this. And I think it was when we were working together before Mastermind that I wrote it. And then when Mastermind started, I thought, now I have to put it out there.
Yes.
For the whole world to see.
Yes. And I talk a lot about group manifesting because the law of attraction is, it's energy, and you're putting energy out and like energy comes back. So when you do it in a group, that's more energy. We always visualize everyone achieving their goal. And we were all visualizing for this little Minotaur book because you were very nervous because your readership was kind of small and you wanted to make your readership bigger. And that was the goal, is make the readership bigger. So what have you experienced from everybody's energy pumping that out? Because we were so proud of you. We're still proud of you. It's still doing amazing.
So, I'm a cheerleader, so I have to talk about the group thing first, and then
Okay.
I'll drag out the suspense. But
Okay.
the group thing is wonderful because you don't feel like you're just there for a coaching session or you're just there for some kind of therapy. It's more like you get to cheerlead each other and you get very invested in each other's success. Like you want them to succeed. I'm putting him to sleep. This is how comforting it is. You want them to succeed. So having that big energy and having that ability to feel the magic pumping through everyone and the happiness, because that was my real goal, was to find my happiness, to find my joy, to feel it kind of sparkle.
Yes.
And you can feel it.
You always feel tingly after Mastermind. I'm like, woo!
Right? It's a sparkly. And you get to see other people's success. And I know you've talked to a few of our group, but you can just really feel how far they've come, and that it's having each other to cheer on and make something very small and independent and isolated, and it's just yours, become really big.
Yes.
So
brag about your book now. Tell us how amazing that little Minotaur book is. The Minotaur that could.
That's what we call it. And I've even had friends who are like, I searched for the little Minotaur that could, and I couldn't find it. Because it was the little Minotaur book that I thought, well, if a few people read it, it'll be fine. Because I've always been, we call Amazon ranking as in like, where your book fits on the scale of 1 to 70 or 80 million. Right. And I've always floated in the million range, which is, I'm like, oh, I have 5 readers, yay. To take that and then for Minotaur to go to the top 5,000 books in all of Amazon.
Yes.
Was crazy.
And sustained. It stayed there.
It is this morning still in the top 10K.
Nice.
So top 10,000. And because that little ball of energy is so much joy, I thought, well, I really want to write a pirate who's a kraken, which you would think there's not a market for that. And I've already got pre-orders, and I have more pre-orders than I ever had for traditional. So it's just keeps going.
Right. Yeah. And I love that because it wasn't like you put out an indie book and you already had built this giant name. You felt like nobody knew you existed yet. So you put this out, this little Minotaur out, and we all pumped a bunch of energy into it. And you have so many readers now. I'm so excited.
It's always funny when, oh, you're on TikTok, or, oh, you're on this, or, oh, you're on that. And I thought, this was not, and the few readers I had were, they liked witches, or they liked this, or they liked that. It was not monsters, because monsters is its own thing. And it just got bigger and bigger, and it's just continued to go steadily on.
I love it. Well, what were some of your big aha moments when we were doing the mastermind? What things made you go, oh, and, have maybe become part of your everyday support system?
So I learned quite a few things at Mastermind, but I'll tell you the biggest takeaway, and then the biggest, I'm not good with feelings. So the biggest, I lost my dad during Mastermind, and I didn't know how to cope with losing someone so important to me and vital to me. And having Mastermind had a group of people that were like, the energy is still there and you can still celebrate, and we will hold you in our group and we will help you through this. And that was just a stunning feeling where I am. We talk about the cup suite and tarot and how it's all emotions and feelings, and I don't do feelings. and it was a huge help just to have that group that you knew was with you at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And then the takeaway was, I'm pretty fearless in my real life. Like my day job, I'm pretty fearless. But then I realized that I had let fear hold back my writer life, my author life, and that I was so scared of being judged or being left out or not getting the top reviews, because I've gotten the Publishers Weekly reviews and I've gotten the good reviews. And it's not that it was a beginning of a journey, it was a beginning of a different journey. And I think fear was just holding me back. And Mastermind was helping peel that away. And it wasn't easy. And the money wounds and the core wounds, all the things, and you just kept peeling it away. So every week I'll find something new that needs to be worked through with the group. And even, I mean, it's not like therapy, you don't have to talk about it, but that's there.
Right. Well, and I love, like, for you, you were able to connect with your primary guide, and she has such a personality. And I love that you have this connection now. So, you know, you're not alone and somebody's always got your back. And how has that affected you?
When your primary guide is so powerful that she goes to automatic writing with Lisa and says, hi, this is my name. And you need to tell her these things. That's pretty powerful. And you know you're not by yourself. And if you need a reminder, we've done the practices and the small rituals that you can carry. I mean, I call them pretty rocks because they're crystals, so they have pretty rocks. Or I can carry my pendant, or I can carry something and just know in my pocket, like, this is my Disney sweater. So I know in my pocket that I have a little piece of Mastermind. So if I need settling, or if I need a moment where I'm like, well, the happiness has gone down. And I'm not talking toxic positivity. I'm just talking that vibration that you know that you need to be at that level to be able to operate at a higher level. I know that's woo-woo. And I'm not a huge woo-woo person. So, but yeah.
I always say that about me too, but I am. Now I own it.
I take out my crystal and I'll put it in my pocket and I'll just take it with me and know that if I freak out, that we've done something, and I feel like that connects me to the group, or that connects me to the universe, or it connects me to actually remembering your purpose, which is a hard thing, is that you have this purpose. And, you know, we've talked about I died and came back, that there's a purpose and that there's multiple purposes. You don't have one calling.
Yes, you can have more than one calling. Yes.
Who'd have known until Mastermind? Oh, I have multiple callings. And I can just touch that little touchstone, which is what I call it, my touchstone, and be like, it's going to be okay.
Yep. Yeah. I keep my little coin that we did in Mastermind right here where I can see it. And when those money scarcity things come in, I'm like, nah, I'm fine. Oh, you have yours too. Yeah. But those things matter because it is a physical thing that we can see to remind us that we are all connected in the universe. Everything's going to be fine. It always is. Right. So that kind of leads me into what has been your favorite part of Mastermind.
So my favorite part is that you don't just get to be this energetic person by yourself. You have a group, you have, like, we've made friends. And if I need to reach out and just be like, I'm feeling that you just need a high, or that you need something to get through your day, I can direct message or put it in the group. Or if I need a moment and I'm feeling all by myself in the world, because that can be very isolating. You feel claustrophobic and it blocks everything. I can go in the group and be like, here's our weekly card, or here's our goddess of the week, or here's Lisa's talking about a full moon spread. And it's just personalized to us. It's not because you have your big group, your big manifesting group, but it's not as personalized. And this is very individual because there's just so few of us that you can see our goals and see our big dreams and see where we need the help the most, which is what I needed, because you could take each one of us and be like, you can help each other in this way and you can move along on one path, but that there are specific things that each of us needed and that each of us brought. And you could see that.
And I love that, and because we do have a mastermind secret Facebook group that's just for the mastermind. And I love seeing everybody share their little slice of what they're doing. You know, Netta has her quilts and you had your book sale, you know, your book signing. And I just think that it's a great way for all of us to keep our energy up, you know, to stay connected, even though we only meet once a week. For the rest of the week, anytime that you need a pick me up, you know, you can go in that safe space and share, right?
And when I got to my signing, which I seem very open right now, but it's because I'm very comfortable with you. But when you have people coming up to you that you've never met and you're talking, these are my books. That's about all I could say was,
right.
These are my books. But I got messages in the Facebook group from Netta or Marie going, this is going to be great. And we are with you in spirit, and talk up your little monster romance, be like the little Minotaur who could. And I will tell you, I sold more copies of the Minotaur that day than all of my other books combined. Wow. And that I think I've ever sold at a signing that small.
Nice.
So it was like, here, this is, and people would see it and come to my table. So it wasn't just me going out, because that's not going to happen. It was people coming to my table to ask about that book.
Love it. Yes. And I believe that everybody's energy matters. And so even though we're not even in your same state, we're putting out that energy of, oh my gosh, you're going to sell out and you're going to sell all those books. And I think that matters. That makes people go, I don't know why, but I feel like I need this Minotaur book, because everything is connected.
And people would say things like, I don't really read this, or this is very strange concept, but I think I need this in my life, or I think I've heard of this somewhere, and they couldn't tell you where.
Yes.
And I thought, that's kind of magical.
Right? Yeah. Well, and once you start learning about your spirit guides and that all times are now and that kind of thing, it is totally likely that your spirit guide's talking to their spirit guide and they're like, they need this. And, you know, all that stuff happens behind the scenes that we don't necessarily hear with our ears. So it's very cool.
Mastermind helped with that. And it helped with divine timing, because that's a hard concept. Mm-hmm. And it's, for a control freak, it's very hard to let go of how and when.
Yes, same. Same.
But having you to kind of guide the entire process, which is nice, because you don't realize a mastermind group, you're all going to just show up and we don't know what we're going to do. You guide the whole process, and you guide the whole lesson and the ritual and where you're going, and you let us ask questions. But then there's that connection underneath it all. So it's like a heartbeat beneath it. And
yes, it's kind of like its own living, breathing thing, right? But when we go to mastermind, I'm always excited for Wednesday, because I know I'm going to see everybody and and the energy's different every time. You know, one time everyone had a headache. That's okay. But it makes it feel real, because there is that, you know, toxic positivity where you pretend everything's great all the time. And life isn't like that. Life's messy. And so I appreciate that the mastermind is always there, no matter where you show up, no matter what your one word is that day when you show up.
But if you notice, those of us who all had a headache, we had a headache together.
Yes.
And we were all willing to talk about it and how to get out of it. And I thought, that's a magic of itself.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And then we had a full moon night that you let us in. And that was some wild, like, I don't do feelings, but I could feel it. And I thought, that's some fire energy right there.
Right? Yeah. That full moon night, Wednesday night was wild. I was feeling it for a couple days afterwards. But
I bet you got a lot done that week.
I did. Yes, for sure. So what would you tell somebody who's thinking about the mastermind? What would you tell them?
So first I'd tell them you have to be ready for it. Mm-hmm. So if you're coming to Mastermind looking for an answer and you don't know what, like I'm always, I don't know what I want. You know, the meme of what do you want to eat? What do you want for dinner using the notebook? And I don't know. That's
I don't know.
So, but you have to have kind of a vision or be open to finding your vision, finding your dream with the group. And I think our group works really well together, that we don't know each other and we didn't know anything about each other. And we just showed up that first night like, hi.
Right. Everyone was nervous. To anyone who's thinking about Mastermind, your first time when you come, everyone's nervous, but it's a really great group. So it goes away quick.
And if you're an introvert, as most writers are, you're showing up where everybody's got different talents and different needs and different goals. And it's so fun to watch how it comes together. So I would tell somebody, if you're thinking about the Mastermind, if you've done any of the meetup group events or the smaller goal setting events, and if you felt like you needed more or that you could take it farther. And I learned this through Mastermind, so don't judge. If you could dream bigger, because your dream's not big enough. Because even if I give out the biggest dreams, y'all in the Mastermind can just make it bigger. Just make it bigger. Just expand it. So you want the little minotaur that could, but what if we do all of this and you have a publishing empire? Oh. And it's happy. Oh. Yeah. And these are all the pieces. So if somebody wanted to go bigger or needed support to figure out what they want and how to make it bigger, then this is a good home.
Yes, for sure. And how has, this will be last question. Sorry, I'm keeping you so long. But how has having all these metaphysical tools that you didn't have before, how has that affected your writing and the rest of your life, having tools like that to support yourself?
So I cheated. I came in because I need to know all the things before I show up. So I knew I had taken the Writers for Tarot course. I knew Oracle cards. I knew a whole bunch of the metaphysical tools, but I didn't know how to apply them. I thought I did. Like, I was like, oh, I kind of got this. I don't have really any go, but I was like, I kind of got this. I feel like I kind of got this. Like it's not a complete mess. But then we took it deeper and you would show us how to work with different things and different tools and pull them in and put them together where you don't need all the things all at once, but you need to know which you need in which situation. So now I have a better understanding of, like, I'm preparing to write the next book and I want it to be very joyful. And I already know that I can go into the writing process and be like, I need to connect with automatic writing, or I need to use my pendulum to see what's going on, or I need to pull some cards, or maybe I just need to sit and put on some meditation music and zone out and hope that it just comes to me, which it does, which is kind of scary. Because I would have been like, no, that doesn't happen, but it does. Or I need to light a candle and do candle magic. Okay, I'm a little more woo-woo than I thought. I'm definitely more woo-woo than when we started.
Right. But I do like that what you had said about that you don't have to do all of them at the same time. I always try really hard to tell everyone you need to find what resonates with you, because some things resonate more than others. Like for crystals, I like that they're pretty, but I'm not awesome at which crystal you need for which thing. So that's why for the crystal lesson, I had my friend Tommy come in and let me interview him, because I'm not a crystal goddess. But some people, whatever it is that resonates with you most is a great tool for you. But how will you know if you don't try? So that's why we have all the little modules in the mastermind, so that you can figure out, which things work for me and make me feel more connected, because that's what it's all about.
And while you're a tarot goddess, and I thought that was my path, your path can change. And Mastermind Group taught me that if things happen in your life that you can't handle, that you have another tool that you might could pull out. And I was so happy to have a toolbox and a group that I could use to go figure out how to deal with the overwhelming, oh my gosh, of life, and focus on this one dream that I have, and taking this one dream and pulling it apart into threads and getting back to a happy state. And having the tools, knowing how to use the tools, and knowing that you can choose was a big part of Mastermind.
Love that. Love that. Well, I don't want to keep you any longer, but thank you so much for all of the input and feedback about Mastermind. Is there anything else you want to say?
That's it. I came and I thought, I don't have anything to say.
I pulled it out of you.
You always do.
Are you looking to manifest a new income stream? Or maybe you're a creative who wants to reconnect with your joy or your muse. Either way, I can help. You can schedule a free Q&A meeting with me over Zoom. The link is actually down in the show notes. And I'd love to talk with you about it and see if we can get you inspired again. Can't wait to meet you.
Thanks for listening to the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast with Lisa Kessler. If you have questions or comments, or if you'd like to work with Lisa to manifest your dreams, you can connect with her through her website at metaphysicalmanifesting.net. That's also where you can claim your free weekly tarot reading and manifesting tips. Make sure you subscribe or follow the Metaphysical Manifesting Podcast on your favorite podcasting site so you never miss another episode. As Lisa likes to say, we can make magic when we bring the universe into the equation. Remember, you don't have to do it alone. If you'd like more information about Lisa, Metaphysical Manifestation Mentorship, or the Manifesting Magic Mastermind, visit her website at metaphysicalmanifesting.net.